Hello, hello,
Hello?
hello. Yeah, I'm audible.
Hello?
Hello, hello. I am audible.
Yes, sir, I am audible.
Okay, okay. Now my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
So yesterday we are getting issue in multiple layout. So there is a issue like the check the render method of router consumer means we was using render here. So multiple layout is not supporting render. So we need to change this render to the component. Okay, but we can use this render when we are not using the multiple layout and we are just using the header footer and including in our all the components. Okay, I will also show you. So I have changed this render to the component here. So now let's check. Now this is working fine. Okay, so for the for front end I have just added front end layout on home component. Okay, so here the front end layout is added. Now I just go to the about us. Now here admin header and admin footer is showing. So I have added admin layout on about us page. So when I click here, so I have also added admin layout on contact us page, and I just on the 404 I have added here, I have added the front end layout on the 404 page. Okay, so in this way we can manage the multiple layout in our React application. Otherwise we if we are not using this multiple layout, then we need to be like if we have one component here. I'm just going into like in this contact. Okay, so we need to include header here. Okay, I need to import header here. Header, I will import like this, import header here, and then I will call this header component in my every every component where this is required. Okay, but by using the multiple layout there is no need to call header and footer in every component. Okay, so when we are it's depend on the totally on the company what type of layout they are using. They want to include header and footer in the all the components, and if and in some company they use the multiple layouts. Okay, but in the multiple layouts the component render will not work here. So that's why we was getting the issue in the multiple layout. So this is all about multiple layout. So this is the all I have created uh, this component for multiple layout where we are getting the as a props component, we are getting as a props layout and other props. Okay, in the rest. So in the layout is the I have already discussed this layout will be the parent of the components and these are the props of that component. So this is the all multiple layout handled by this component. Okay, so this is the main code here. Okay. So I think multiple layout is covered, and so my today's topic is form, creating form and handling the validations in that form. So there are two type of forms controlled forms and uncontrolled forms. Controlled forms are the forms in which we are handling all the forms by the help of the state, and uncontrolled forms we are accessing the DOM of the form by the using useref hook and by using the JavaScript selectors, and we can also use for the jQuery, but we will not do this by uncontrolled form, we will do this via control form. Okay, there is another like form type in the React, like the formic form. So the rarely company use this formic forms, and I will not cover here, but I will create a playlist at my YouTube channel. But today I will cover here only the control form. Okay, so I'm just creating here one component form.jsx. Okay, and I'm just going to create here class component by React code snippet. Okay, I have created this. This is controlled form. Okay, I'm just going to include this, and I'm just going to close all the other. Okay, now I'm just going to remove this routing and removing other things as well. Okay, like this, and in include we have included the browser router here. Okay, now I will import my form component here, component plus form, and I will call in the in app component like this. Let's check. Now we are getting an issue here, so no need to go here. Name at line number 13, in which about us. So I have deleted the about us from here, so I need to restart my server. Let's check. npm, need to hide this, npm start. If you are getting a issue like in the multiple layout, you just restart your server and then check. There may be a issue of restarting the server. Okay. So in the control form, I will create a general form, and I will handle all the fields in a state. I will have all the fields in a state. I will display the value in the forms by the help of that state, and I will also validate that state. Okay, now this is working off. So there was a issue showing. So now I am just going to create a simple form here, control form. This is the control form. So after today's lecture, our React course will be completed, and from the next week we will start Redux. So this is the form, and I am just creating a label like name, br tag, input type, text, name, name, value. So this is our first form element. So I'm just going to br. Okay. So another I will use here email, and here mobile. Okay. So there are three fields in my form, and another is input type, submit, value, submit. Okay. Now let's see on the browser. So we have a form like this. Okay. Now this is submitting. Okay, this is the form. So now I want to show some default value in this name, email, and mobile. So I will create here a one constructor here, like in the in when we are going to edit a form, then we show the like by default selected value. So how we can show this selected value? I am just going to use super. Okay, this dot state. I'm just creating a state here. In this name, I will have like this tech mentor, our YouTube channel name, and email tech mentor at it should be in okay gmail.com, and we have another field mobile like 000000000 like this. Okay, now we will show this value here. This dot name. Okay, so I will just here email, and here I will use mobile. Okay, so now let's check on browser. So we have like values in every field like in mail, name, email, and mobile. Okay, like this we have. Now I want to change this value. So how I can change like so I will create an event here on click on change. Okay, and I will create a function here dot the dot this dot handle element. Okay, and I will create a function here like this. I will create, so I need to remove this with the function, and I will use here event. So I will go here console.log event. Let's check what will be in the event. I am just going to console here. Value, providing the value props for the form field without on change handler. Okay, so this is the, so now we are getting this in our event. Okay, so there are clickable and some events are this. These are the target. Okay, this is the target input. We will try to find the value of this target input. Okay, so target, I'm just using target. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so this is the target, and I want to get the value here, so I will use dot value. Okay, so in this way we can get the value. So now I am getting the updated value here. Okay, but this is not updating here. Okay, because we are not changing the states, that's why this is not updating the value here. Okay, so how we can update this? This is the value, and we can also get, we will use this handler uh, on change. This is showing the, otherwise this will show the error in the console. So I'm just going to add this event on every element I have added. So now I will also like this. Okay. So now let's check. I'm just going to refresh. No error in this. So now name. This is showing the name. Oh, I have used value. So I need to change this value into name. Okay. So now let's check. Refresh the name. Okay. I'm getting the name of that element, name element, and the value. So how we can change this? I'm just going to create one object event like this. Let's check in this way. This okay. I think now this is working. हेलो हाँ नहीं है यहाँ पे ठीक है ठीक so now I'm just going to console this dot log. Now this is updating. Okay, you can see. So mistake was uh, we are using in on chat directly function. So we need to use the arrow function to pass the event in this function. Otherwise, we need to otherwise where is otherwise we need to use this bind. Okay, if we are using in this way, so we need to use this bind. I can also show you here. Event. Okay, let's check this. I'm just going to revert this. This is a very good concept as well. Handle. In our constructor, and what is our handle event? Okay, like this. That state we need to use this, and I'm just going here. Okay, now I'm typing. This is working. Okay, so if we are using arrow function, then this is fine. If we are using in this way, then we need to bind this our function with this reference function. Okay, in this way. Okay, so we will cover this bind. What is this bind in our advanced JavaScript when we will use the call bind, and there are the three type of functions to binding, and all this works the same in the same way. So we will use this bind, but we need to use this bind here if we are using this. Otherwise, we need to use uh, arrow function. Okay, so let's move. I have updated the name here. Okay, so we need to create a object. I was creating an object here. Let values. Okay, this dot state dot name. Okay, Next, then I will pass this here. Let's check this is fine or there is some mistake. This is working fine. Okay. I'm just going to refresh and then check. This is working fine. Okay. Now I will put like this and for again like this. Okay. So the email and no, not here. Here email. Okay. And here email. Name is equal to email then target. Otherwise email. And here mobile. Mobile. Okay. Now let's check. No, there is some mistake in the target name. Okay, I need to change here as well. Name mobile in this way. Okay, so now let's check. This is also updating, but there should be a number, so we will add the validation like this. Okay, and we can enter this and we can update this like this. Okay, so all the values now updated in this form. So I have created the form and with the help of state, and I'm just updating the value as well. So now how we will validate these values? Okay, so I will now before the like I'm just creating a on submit event on submit. Okay, this dot submit form. I'm created one function here. Okay, and I'm just creating arrow function here like this, and in this I will get an event, and let's print this event also have prevent default to stop the prevent automatic submission of this form. Okay, now just go here console.log and just I will check my state here, this dot state. Okay, I'm just going to form and I'm just updating some value. I'm just going to click and now I'm getting them all the values. Okay, so I need to validate these values. Okay, if I will not use this event.prevent default, then my form will automatically submit. Okay, so to stop the form submission we need to add the prevent default. And so how we can, I'm just going to create one more function here like validate like this. I have created this and I will put all this here like this dot validate like, and I will print my all state here, and I am just going to return here return true. Okay, so when there is no error in the validation, then I will go inside this function and it will print my state. So let's check. I'm just updating here. I'm just going to click and this is updating, so no error. So in this I am also having these values, so I will create one, like I will create one flag here like check flag, like valid flag. I'm just using valid flag equal to true. By default I have assigned a value true. Okay, now if I'm having this state, okay, state dot email equal to blank. If this is blank, then I will return false. Okay, and I will also have here one more name error. To show the error, I'm just including this in the state. Now this is blank. So for one for email error, and one for mobile error, like this. Now these are the blank initially. Okay, so I will just go here and, and in the div I will show this name error, like this dot state dot error. If this exists, this will show this dot state dot name, otherwise this will show blank. Okay, like this I will add this error to the all the element, like for the email. I'm just going to change this, and for the mobile as well. Okay, so now when I'm getting the email, so I will change here, I will update this state, I will use here, and I will update here. No, where I'm using, I need to, so I need to use change, like email is empty. Okay, line number 17, inform JSX. This is showing some mistake. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this. Now I'm just clicking here, then this is showing, and email, this is showing here email is empty. So let's check why this is showing here. So I think I have updated in name, I need to update in email. Okay, so now let's check, and we will add a class here. On this class name we will add here error. Okay, and I will just add this class on every div. Okay, so I will create one more file here, like form.css. Okay, and I will import, and I will use this error, and I will define here color colon red. Okay, now I have defined, and I will include this file here, import form.css. I have included. So now let's check. I'm just going to remove this, and now I'm just going to click. This is showing email is empty. Okay, so we can show all with all, like if I am getting, I will add one more check here, like this for name. Then we will set this, and I will change this to name is empty. Okay, and one is for mobile. Okay, mobile update in this. So now let's check, and this is true by default, so no need to return true, we will return this. Okay, by default. So now I'm just going to blank this, and blank this. I'm going to click here, empty name. So this is written only the on empty. So I will not return this. I want to show all the error messages. So I will not return one by one. I will change this. Okay. Now I will return here. Okay. Let's blank again, blank again, blank again. Like this. We can show the error like this. Okay. So we can use error and we can handle the error if everything is fine. Okay. We can use like another if else for the mobile I'm using. You can use this for email as well. So this mobile dot length greater than 10. Okay. If mobile digits are greater than 10, like 11, 12, and 12, 13, 14, so this is a wrong mobile number. So we can add this like this. Mobile number is not valid. Mobile number is not valid. Okay. Now let's check. I'm just adding few more. So mobile number is not valid, this one. So we can add this type of validation, and this validation, if all is, I think this should be greater than and less than. Okay, this should be, we will use like this, greater than or less than 10. Okay, then we will get error. I'm just going to click here, error. So I will 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, what this is also showing, this is an error. So we need to update the state as well. Okay, if there is no error here, so we will update here state, like we will update this like this. We will set blank in this. Okay, so now check, there is error 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So now there is no error. So when there is no error in this form, let's check here. I'm just typing there is error. So there is nothing in the console. When this form, there is no error in this form, so then you can check we are printing this on the line number 14 in the form.js. So line number 14 is here. So when there is no error in this form, we will be inside this if condition. Okay, and we can just use our HTTP request here. We can use HTTP request by Axios, by fetch. Okay, and we can post this data. We can post the data to server, and we can save this data into the database. And after that, we can show the message your data is saved successfully here, and we will just make blank all the values as per our requirement. So this is all about how we can create a form, how we can handle the validations, how we can validate the all the fields. Okay, so just there is a one thing you need to remember in that, when you are using on change, then you need to use this bind, otherwise you need to use arrow function. So I will suggest you no need to bind this in this way. You always use in your event, always use arrow function. Okay, because uh, arrow function have the reference of the parents means its class, it does not have the reference of itself. Oh, okay, when we will use the any function like this dot handle event, then it has the reference of itself, and that's why there is a need to bind the reference of class to this. Okay, now we are binding. Okay, so this is all about form and form validations by the controlled component. Okay, and uncontrolled component means uncontrolled component means we will use like we are using jQuery, and we are using by this jQuery, like we are having some IDs and class by we are getting the values, and we are using, if this is the function component, we are using use ref hook to get the values. These are comes uh, in the uncontrolled forms, but this is not the better approach to handle a component. So we always use the control forms, and we will have all these things in the state. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the recording.